just sitting here answering a few emails about the fly vices, and I've had a few questions. So I thought it'd be a lot easier to make a little video and put that out there rather than writing a lot of stuff that hardly makes sense and is a little bit hard to explain. So here we go. That's what I'm going to try and do. So where did it all start, the fly vice stuff for me? Well, it started years and years ago, probably 40 years ago, tying flies. I was tying flies before I even started to fly fish. And that was the first vice I used. Inherited it from my grandfather, simple function, works really well. It doesn't work really well at all, but clamped to the bench, as you can see. This moves around. A little system here for holding hooks. Can't hold the big ones. Hold the small ones. It will hold them, but it doesn't hold them very well. You've got to put a lot of tension on there. Yeah, smaller hooks, not too bad. I have tied a lot of flies on it. And the very first fish I ever caught fly fishing was on a green beetle I tied on that vice there. But I wanted more. I wanted something else. So in a past life, I was at university and I had to design and come up with a product. And this is what I did. Came up with a fly vice. Collet jaws, just a simple travel vice really. It comes apart there. Nice solid base, not too big, does the job. Holds hooks really well. The only problem is that when you do it up, that piece there turns a bit. But apart from that, it's not so bad. Put a hook in there, get that right, and away you go. Holds hooks reasonably well. It's not great, but it is not bad. Smaller hooks again, really good. But like I said, there's machine parts there, machined that, machined the collar, and I wanted something I could actually make in the garage if I didn't have access to a lathe. So I put some thought into it. I came up with that there. I call that the standard, similar base, same sort of support and same sort of jaw system. However, this jaw system here, although it may look like it's machined, it's not. That there is just a bolt and round bar cleaned up on a finisher sanding belt. Again, same problem with that turning when you try and do it up. But again, tied a lot of flies on all these vices, caught a lot of fish from those flies. So it's not too bad. Having said that, I was working away one day, talking to a master fisherman, showing him some of the creations that I did have, such as these hybrids here, that one there, very simple design, just weld it up, do that up there, dirt and crap and corruption here, but do that up there, holds a hook, not very well, but it does hold a hook. So you can see an underlying theme here is the jaws are good, but not great. Here's another little hybrid with a lever cam system on the side. Do it up, clamp it down, holds a hook. But what he said to me was, you really need a rotary fly tying vice. And yeah, he's probably right. I did need a rotary fly tying vice. So I put my mind to it, did some research, and came up with this Twister Mk3. Of course, that's the Mk3. Have no idea what happened to the Mk2. I would have scavenged all the parts off it to use on other vices. But this little top here I'm putting on was the Mk1. Nothing really changed in the stand and nothing really changed in the base. All the changes I made, you can see there that that's just nuts and bolts. Nuts and bolts put together. I've got the end welded on. I also made a variety of jaw systems. You can see how I stopped welding those and put a nut on there so I can remove them and take them off. These are collet jaws. They work. Again, I've tied flies on them. They're good, but none of them are great. The other problem I had with this is quite excessive slack and wobble in here. I couldn't get that tight enough to stop the wobble movement without it binding up. So what I've done with that, well, over time, it evolved into the Twister Mk3. Again, no idea what happened to the Mk2. But this is essentially what I ended up with. So you can see I've got the bobbin holder, which goes in the nut there that can come out, put anything you like in it, adjust the top and the size. Originally, I had stainless steel jaws because they're easy to make, easy to produce. The only problem with them is, you can see that, I don't know if you can, the ends, shaking a bit, sorry about that. The ends get slightly burred over time. It doesn't affect the performance of it. I still hold hooks, but I just didn't like it. So I moved on from there and made these hardened steel jaws. So they're made from offcuts of leaf spring. When I make a knife, I get offcuts. Well, it didn't start out that way. It started out making these jaws, and then what was left, I'd make knives out of. Now it's the other way around. So that's an innovation I added on there. These jaws can come off, as you can see. You can change them. You can get bigger ones, smaller ones, whatever you want to put on. And I've put 2 thrust bearings in here. So there's literally eliminated the slack by quite a lot, almost to nothing. I wouldn't say nothing, but very, very close. Very easy to use. In fact, it's a joy. So that was the Twister Mk3. There's other things you can add onto it. This is a vise. This is my vise that I tie on all the time. You can see how I've added a gallows unit, which is just a simple 3.2 welding wire, which goes in these nuts at the bottom, which again is all adjustable. You can take it out. You could put another one of those on if you want the bobbin rest sitting on there as well. And that's just a common hair tie, and away it goes. You'll notice that these jaws are thinner and a bit different. I wouldn't make jaws like that small for other people. I just did that because that's offcuts I had. I just used what I had. So there we go. That base is just a big chunk of mild steel, a few grooves milled in it. I don't like it, it's too heavy. I like the fact of the other one, I can move around when I'm tying to get it where I want it to be. Like moving, and yeah, so it's overkill in my opinion, that base, but it's what I got, so I use it. That big down here. So all said and done, that's enough jibber jabber about the history of the vise. The question that I had was, will the vise hold a number 4 down to an 18 firmly? So honestly, I didn't know. I'd never done it. I've only tied hooks from, I think it was a 6 down to a 16. So what I'm going to do now is test it out, see if it's going to work. Take that out of the way. So simply undo that. I'll get a little bit tighter because it's annoying me, but undo that. Put our hook in, this here being a number 4 hook, reasonably tight, a little bit lower. Tighten it up. Quite a bit of pressure on there, and it's holding the hook pretty well. A little bit more pressure. Cool. There we go. That's pretty there. You can put a heap of pressure on there. It's not going to affect the jaws at all, but that's holding it. You could tie that on, not a problem. Wouldn't be an issue. So that's your number 4. What I have done a lot of is tie on number 6, I think they are. Tie a lot of streamers. This here being a green rabbit. Put that one in. Put the pressure up. Better. That's as solid as a rock. I could bend that hook then. It wouldn't matter. It's good. Tied flies, I've tied a lot like that. So those are your bigger hooks. Take that one out. Now for the smaller hooks, bit of a challenge. This one here being, probably can't see it because I'm struggling to see it. This one here being an 18 or a 20, sure. Pretty small. Do that up right on the end. And that's solid as a rock. That would break the hook before it would move. Again, you can tie those on there and do whatever you got to do. So yeah, in conclusion, will it hold size, what do I say, size 4 down to a size 18? Size 4, it'll hold it good, great, maybe not, that's a stretch for it. You could get bigger jaws, could modify them a little bit to hold the bigger hooks if you wanted to. Could I comfortably tie size 4 flies on it? Yeah, I could. So I'm happy that, yeah, I could do that. 18 or 20, yeah, no worries at all. That one's solid as a rock, and so anything in between. Yeah, so thanks for coming, and I hope you have a beautiful day.